So it kind of helped me feel even better about when I was talking about before with balance, like with that 80-20, like 80% of the time, very resilient, very, very disciplined, very this, but you can't forget to not live your life. So I think I'll end it on just be careful that you're actually living. It's important to me. So, welcome back. Where have we been? It has been a crazy past couple of months, as it is for probably everybody, for everyone. So I wanted to wait. I know I probably should have been doing the podcast all throughout. It just was so crazy. I mean, I think everybody, like I said, everybody was going through that. So today I'm definitely not, here to talk about the pandemic in its specific sense, or kind of throw my 2 cents on what's going on, socially, what's going on right now. It's just, I think that a lot of people's lives have been affected, and there's been a lot of changes, and even more changes in here. I see a lot of businesses being affected, but where we've been, what we've been doing, honestly, I didn't know we were going to be so busy. So I guess that's a good thing. I'm not here to like rub salt in other people's wounds. There's so many people that are having trouble with their companies, and there's so many people. I'm a small business owner, and I would like to do more, than what I'm doing now, and I eventually will. But we just got, I've just been slammed. We've all been slammed here. It's been, great. Obviously, we take people on one at a time, which is awesome, to have that. It's appointment only. There's not more than maybe, 3 or 4 people in there at a clip. We can keep the proper distance and stuff like that, which has been awesome. But that's, I think, what's the attraction. Nobody wants to go back to the larger gyms with trainers that have all these people around them. They want to come to a small facility like ours. And I get that. I totally understand it. But I just wasn't prepared for it. And we have a lot of consultations coming up, which is awesome. And our classes are doing great. So we've been, as far as a company, as far as business-wise, that's what I've been focusing on. More so up until, about a couple weeks ago, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, what am I doing? Like, am I just, because when everything hit, I focused solely on financial and business. And I think a lot of people did. But I mean, I really cleaned up a lot of the stuff that we had to do in, my company. And then I really, focused on my own personal, growth, as far as, making sure that everything was cleaned up. And I'm a minimalist at heart. Like, I don't like a ton of things, going on. So I don't know how you guys are, but I need it to be very easy, very clear. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people. They just there's like a lot of clutter in your life, and that's what was bothering me. And so I focused solely on that, and I've been focusing on that for the past maybe like 2-3 months now. And when we reopened, I had every single client come back and train, and they were craving an experience, craving a one-on-one experience, just to talk with somebody and just to be around somebody, 6 to 12 feet apart, but still, around somebody, and tell somebody other than the people that they were with, just a good conversation. And I'm a huge conversationalist, and I think that's what I missed. I missed conversation with people so much, and it was so evident as it progressed that you crave that. So I really looked internally these past couple of months, and some of the stuff that I was doing, maybe some of the stuff that I felt like I was doing wrong, or maybe things that I knew I needed to improve besides financial. Like, I kind of was just on that side and on that business, which is great to be. But then I was like, what am I learning? What am I learning from all this? What am I doing? And my training was good, taking care of my health. And I think that's what people need to do is take care of our health. I was really upset that there wasn't a whole lot of talk about that. It was just talk about, staying away from people. You can get sick. You're not going to be sick. This is what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be sick. And it was like, there's no talk of prevention. That's what bothered me the most. And there's no talk of what you could do to improve on your immune system. There was no talk of that. So, it wasn't like go outside. It wasn't like talking about vitamin D. It wasn't talking about the way that you can take care of yourself. They weren't talking about how obesity really did affect us so much, because obesity is such a huge risk factor for some people, because it does, you are more susceptible to disease. So that's what bothered me, I'll be honest. But, I think that people have a responsibility to take care of yourself, take care of your health, and it's a personal responsibility that everybody should take very, very seriously. And I that's what bothered me. So I was thinking about, what am I doing? Yes, I get enough sleep. I make sure that financially, like I said, everything is good, and I make sure I eat well, and I really do, really make sure I do. I track my food. Those of you who follow us and do the things that we kind of practice, we practice that good, healthy balance. But I was trying to think of, like, how have I balanced things? What have I done, for myself? So lately I've been really focusing on training, and I've been focusing on other people and how they affected me in my life and how I affect them in theirs. So with all that being said, I kind of reached out to, I got to see my family finally, like, my brothers, and I got to see my sister and stuff, because she's a respiratory therapist. So she's got, she literally has everybody on her shoulders. She's just the one that everybody sees. And to, so to have that, to be able to see her, like really see her and like hang out and joke around, that's fun. And I mean, I think that's the thing that was missing from a lot of our lives. And I know how stressful that is, but just being able to see the people you love, man, shit, there's nothing better than that. I mean, I'll be honest, I missed it so much, and I think I let it show. My niece, I bought these inflatable, like, I bought an inflatable T-Rex. Everybody's seen that T-Rex shit. I mean, everybody gets in those, but I got a 8-foot unicorn, and I got in it for her birthday. And it was so funny walking down the street in this 8-foot unicorn. You got the neighbors looking out at you like, who's this crazy bastard? And she ran out. She's like, it's a unicorn. It was freaking hilarious. And but she hugged me. She knew it was me, but she hugged me. And then when she hugged me, she said, "This feels really good," or no, "This feels so good." And man, I felt that, man. I really did. It's like, wow, man, she's right. It does feel good, And of course, it feels good to see her happy and stuff. So that's important. So I totally understand when you have everything being taken away from you, why some people are reacting, and they're so stressful, and they're so craving, just get me out of here. Everybody's so angry and pent up, and so I totally get that. And then not to mention, everybody is, if you're stuck in the house with somebody you don't want to be stuck with, I mean, you definitely found that out after this for sure. A lot of relationships are suffering because of that. And a lot of people are, now, really thinking about their lives more now than ever, which is, I guess that's a good thing. It sucks that it had to come to that, but it still is a good thing. So I was really thinking about, during all that time, just kind of paying it forward. I mean, we probably had, I want to say like $2,000, just slipped under our door, and I think I gave away like 2/3 of it, to restaurants and tipping people and making sure that, just give it away. It's like, pay it forward. I mean, I know it sounded like I just, like, oh, I gave away a bunch of money, but it's like, that's not what I'm trying to get across here. My point is, it's just like, hey man, it's like, if you can give it away, and, we were training people online. I was training people online. So, it's not, it's part of that, our business model anyway, to do that, but it was definitely an experience. So it's like, if you can pay it forward, and I really believe in this. I'm such a firm, believer in this. Pay it forward, man. Pay it forward, and just watch what happens to the people around you. People are so close to losing their shit all the time. So if you can be a part of them not losing their shit, or just bringing them a little bit further out of their own world or out of their own hell, do it. It's like, what are we doing here? It's like, that's what we could be doing, or we should be doing with each other. So I know drinking in the mic is like the worst thing you can do. But so I was really thinking about this, and I thought about it over the past couple of days. I seem kind of mellow right now because I'm still kind of feeling it. So I've been thinking the past like 3 weeks, 4 weeks now, maybe, yeah, about that, about balance and what that really means. That I practice, resiliency and daily disciplines and stuff. But you want to make sure that you're aligned with the people that that you're inspired by, that you're motivated by, that you feel disciplined by, or that hold you accountable. So I was sitting there and I was thinking, I practice the 80-20 rule, and 80% of the time I'm on point, like discipline-wise, resiliency, eating, making sure I stay regimented with my sleep, and then 20% is, going out to dinner, going out, having fun. Because I think you need to make sure you regulate that a little bit, so then that way you can take better care of your health. I'm a big believer in that, in the resiliency side of it for sure. In the discipline side, I talk about all the time. And I think people think that I'm being like a downer when I talk about that shit. Like when you're like, yo, you don't need to do this whole, like, going out to dinner, going out drinking, feeling bad about yourself, about working out, all this stuff. And it's like, I really thought about that over the past couple of weeks, months really, but like weeks, as far as like really letting it affect me. So I was thinking about it. It's like, if you're following, or you're in the people that you look at, or these influencers, how happy are they? Right? Like, I was like looking at some of these people and I'm like, how happy are you? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you aren't, but how happy are you? Are you happy that your life is the way that it is? And it's like, that blew my mind. Like lately I've just been like, yeah, you're showing me all these things that you do, but do you want to do them is the question. And I don't mean, do you want to, like, has it now controlled your life and now you feel like you can't get out? So I see a lot of that. And my thing is, I'll be honest with all of you, for a while there, I wasn't very happy. I just wasn't, with the, I start to become an all about business, like all about, and I know that's good. That's a good thing in some ways, but I don't mean it in the way that you think I mean it. I mean, like, I was very business savvy. That's great. You make right decisions. You're making the hard decisions, all of those things. But I started to let it take over my life. And I noticed that every single time somebody would talk about something, I'd end up bringing up something like my business. So the thing is, yes, it's such a big part of your life, but are you enjoying the other sides? And I was like, maybe I'm not, I mean, I am, but I'm not. It's like, I'm like holding my happiness hostage. It's such a terrible idea. And you're also doing things looking for validation, and that's another big one, is that there's such, there's a big issue I see with social media, and big issue I see with media, and you looking for others to validate you for your craft, not that you're doing something of value and get attention that way. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference. So I was like, how happy are some of you? Like, there's no way, but not to assume, but so what I said to myself is I'm going to really practice this 80-20 thing, like really practice it. There's clear boundaries. And this has been amazing. Like, I feel so much better. I mean, I do, it's like my business, I feel like this weight has been lifted. We've been super, busy and productive. And, we had a lot of changes, so many changes. And I've also had a lot of changes in my life. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a fur daddy. I got two cats at home, little cats, Minkus and Beasley, which are great. They're super awesome. And, you have that, which is fun. But I mean, it's also, it's just, enjoying time with friends, and when you're out, you're out. And I have been redirecting when my days off, redirecting people when they try to talk to me about anything fitness related or anything. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm with you. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. It's one of my purposes. It is also one of my passion. But here's the other thing. You're also so much more than that. So when you think about that, think about something that you're passionate about. Think about something that you have purpose or that you enjoy. Just because you like it doesn't mean it's every single waking second to you. And if it is, that's fine. But I think that can be bad in the long term unless it's absolutely something that you cannot part ways with. Then it's like, you're really passionate, good for you, and so am I. But I think with purpose and passion, you have to know that you're more than just a one-dimensional thing. You have other passions, other likes, and I do. Trust me, I have so many, But so what I've learned about doing all of this is that have those clear boundaries on those things, and that's helped me during this quarantine. That's what I learned during this, is like, you're so much more than what you even think you are. So that's helped me so much over this time, and practicing balance. Like, listen, be regimented, be this, but don't forget to have a good time. Don't forget to hang out with certain people. Don't forget to see your family. Don't forget to help other people. Don't forget that part. That part is so important for your mental growth, your mental sanity. It's like, those are the most important parts. Really affect people in real life, not just what you see on social media, not just what it's like, don't just be all style and no substance. It's like, that's what got me. It's like, have more substance, affect people in real life, in real life situations. That's what I've learned. So over the weekend, this past weekend, I went and did a sensory deprivation tank in Farmington. It's called Float 41, and it was this woman, Sarah, owns it. She is in our military, so it's military owned. I thought that was awesome, and so I respect. Obviously, that made me want to go even more to support her, and I found it out because of a friend. My friend Heather turned me onto it, so I've been really curious about it for probably about like 10, probably over 10 years now. I've been like hearing about it, but I didn't know like what it was going to do for me. Like, I'm really very self-aware, person. So I kind of know where I have my faults. And one of my faults is I'm always on the go. I'm like, let's do this. Let's go. So I've been trying to feel better about being present and not moving on to the next thing. We don't want to think about that. Sometimes you want to live in the present, which means you're actually enjoying what's happening in front of you when it's happening. And then, just going on from there, which is very important. So I ended up going, it's in Farmington, and it's Farmington, Connecticut. So it's not far from us. And so I went in there. I was very, very nervous. And to be honest with you, I was nervous about being alone with my thoughts. Like, I was like, oh shit, I'm going to get into this tank and it's going to be just me, nobody else, darkness. And, to somebody who has, post-traumatic stress syndrome like I do, and that also has, just as far as like the racing thoughts all the time, I was really nervous. I mean, I'm pretty disciplined and I'm able to kind of get through things, but nothing like this. So, I mean, and they all could tell when I went in, I was really, really nervous. Like, and then you go in. And so in my experience, I thought you just jump in this tank and you're done. But no, there's like this whole thing before you go in. It's like, you shower first, just so you can get as warm as the water is going to be. You put these plugs in your ears, just because you don't want salt water in your ears, especially salt with like a ton of fucking salt in your ears, and just expands, and there's crystal salts in your ears, which is gross and sucks. So I'm in, and I'm in there, and then they all leave, So there you are. And, I got in, and for the first, you're just like floating on top of the water. It's a really odd experience. It's very strange, to be in there. And I just shut the light. I shut the light off a little bit at the end, but then in the beginning, I kind of kept it on. The music is really soothing. It's really great. And, when you just kind of let yourself go, finally, and I was alone with my thoughts, and I really found like that good, sweet spot of just being kind of at peace. And it felt awesome. It felt great. I truly was relaxed. You can hear, by the way, the pressure points in your body, like the cricking and cracking. When you like crack your knuckles like that. I could feel my neck, the tension, like I could hear it, I just worked out prior, but I mean, I'm like tight muscles and everything. Like I felt truly weightless, which is such an odd feeling. It is so crazy. So just by that, I would go back just to do that, but never mind to feel amazing, during it. I did see some people say that you can really get into this deep meditative state. I think I was in that for probably about 5 to like 15 minutes. I couldn't even tell time in there. It was just crazy. It went by so fast. So, so I saw, that the geometric patterns when you shut your eyes and stuff, you have those, like, they were so different when I would shut my eyes. It was so crazy. And I didn't feel alone at all. It felt weird that I felt like more connected. I felt better, but I was like, so then I get out and I am I'm telling you, I was exhausted. Like I got out of there and I was just so calm, and I'm still that way. I still feel, I've had like a cup of coffee. I still feel just chill. It is a very strange experience, very good experience. So I totally recommend going there. That Float 41 is great, amazing. Talk to Sarah. She's awesome. Go and do it. Just try it. I had a extremely positive experience. It was great, and I will be going back there. What I got from it afterwards, though, I was so calm. I went to dinner afterwards, and I remember even at dinner, I felt it. I just felt it, like right in your head. It just feels different. So it kind of helped me feel even better about when I was talking about before with balance, like with that 80-20, like 80% of the time, very resilient, very, very disciplined, very this, but you can't forget to not live your life. So I think I'll end it on just be careful that you're actually living. It's like, I'm with this. I am Mr. Discipline. I am Mr. Shared Suffering. I am Mr. Push Yourself. I'm all for that. But you also have to make sure there's this element that you actually feel like you're living your life too. Push yourself to do better, but you also have to enjoy certain things. And if you don't, I mean, you're missing out, because at the end, this all, not to, whatever you believe, it goes off and it sucks, but, here we are. So just, on that note, if you can, just make sure you enjoy stuff. That's what I found. It's like I motivate and help keep people accountable, essentially, for money, for a living. That's what I do. And I think I do it pretty well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it for the past 10 years and have the clientele that I have. It's been awesome in the facility that we have, which is absolutely phenomenal, and the team that we have, that's phenomenal. So it's like, listen, make sure during that 80-20 rule that I practice, that 20%, you really are enjoying yourself. So listen, I'm out of here. I got to go train, and I will see you guys all next week. Later.
Live Sculpted.